Chosen one, do not move your finger to scroll past this screen. Stop what you are doing and hear my voice right now. This specific moment is not the result of a random algorithm on your phone. Heaven has literally bent the rules of time to place this urgent message directly in your path today. You must pay close attention to this warning. What you skip today might be the exact answer you have begged for. A massive shift is occurring in the spiritual realm right now, and it directly concerns your future and your destiny. You have felt a very heavy pressure lately. A strange invisible tension follows you through the... Do not panic about this sudden heavy feeling. That tension is definitely not a punishment. It is a divine alarm bell ringing for your bloodline to wake up. If you walk away now, you turn your back on the exact shift I orchestrated for you. Please stay in this room. I know the deep weight you always carry. I see how you wake up feeling completely tired. The heavy fog is sitting on your chest before you even open your eyes. You push through the difficult morning. You put on a brave smile for everyone around you. But inside, your spirit feels exactly like a broken vessel. You are pouring yourself out to keep others comfortable while you run empty. You are simply tired of being the strong one all the time. I have watched you closely in the dark. I saw you sitting on the edge of the bed when the house was quiet. You were staring at nothing in the shadows. The crushing weight of your daily responsibilities made your shoulders ache with pain. You swallowed your tears because you had to be the solid anchor for your family. No one sees how close you are to breaking, but I see every detail. I count every silent tear that falls in the midnight hours. You have been waiting patiently for a very long time. The delay has started to feel like a harsh rejection. You look around and see other people receiving their harvest. You wonder if you did something terribly wrong. You ask if your daily faith was simply not enough. You try to work much harder to earn my blessing. You must stop doing that immediately. You cannot earn what is already yours by blood right. Your exhaustion is real, but your deep guilt is a lie. Breathe slowly and deeply with me right now. Unclench your tight jaw and let your heavy shoulders drop. You have been holding your anxious breath for many months. The dark enemy wants you to believe you are completely forgotten. He whispers terrible lies that you will always struggle with money. He points at your empty hands and calls you a failure. But he is absolutely terrified of the inheritance deeded to your noble name. He attacks your tired mind to steal your focus. You feel a deep pressure to explain yourself constantly. You desperately want to prove your heart is clean when others misunderstand you. You draft long messages in your head. You want to defend your pure intentions to people who refuse to see your light. Do not do it anymore. Lay down your heavy defense today. You have carried way too much in your mouth for too long. You bleed to prove you care, and they still walk away. You are the chosen cycle breaker of your bloodline. That is exactly why the spiritual resistance against you is so fierce. The dry wilderness you walk through is not a punishment for your past mistakes. It is the intense preparation for a season of unprecedented wealth and peace. But right now, you only feel the sharp sting of the cold isolation. You feel like a lone wanderer in a desert with no water in sight. I know it hurts you. The heavy physical toll is showing clearly on your body. Your nightly sleep is broken and completely scattered. Your mind races with 1,000 anxious thoughts about tomorrow. You try to calculate exactly how you will survive another month of financial pressure. You are trying to figure out the mathematical equation of a true spiritual miracle. But you cannot solve a heavenly mystery with an exhausted human mind. You simply need to rest. Listen very closely to my voice now. I am breaking through the loud noise of your anxious thoughts. The thick fog in your mind is not because you are losing your inner strength. It is the physiological weight of carrying a massive spiritual calling in a human body. Your nervous system is bracing for a monumental and divine shift. You are standing right at the final threshold, and you must know exactly what to do next to cross it safely. Let me speak to something tender right now, something you have carried quietly for a very long time. You hide this heavy burden from everyone around you, and you wear a bright mask of strength when you walk out of your door every single morning. You smile and say you are doing fine, but your tired eyes tell a completely different story. I saw you last night in the quiet darkness. I watched you sitting completely alone while the rest of the house was sleeping deeply. You were staring blindly at the pale wall, and you were feeling the crushing weight of overdue bills and heavy family responsibilities pressing down on your exhausted chest. No one else knows about those silent midnight hours. You swallow your tears to protect their peace. Your physical body is keeping a strict score of this intense pain. I see the tight knots in your shoulders that never fully relax. Your stomach drops whenever your phone rings with an unknown number. And you wait for the next piece of terrible news to drop into your lap because life taught you to expect disaster. This survival mode has left your nervous system shattered. You are running on pure fumes. You are always the reliable one for your friends and family. They bring their heavy problems to your doorstep and expect you to fix everything. You listen patiently and offer them wise counsel. You pour your valuable energy into their healing process without a single selfish thought. But when your own world is violently shaking and falling apart, you find yourself sitting in an empty room. You bleed to prove you care about them. You stretch yourself incredibly thin to make sure everyone else feels safe and secure. And yet, you often wonder who is truly holding you when you fall. It feels like a very cruel joke of the universe sometimes. You give your entire heart to people who only know how to take everything from you. You quietly accept their crumbs of affection because you feel unworthy. I know the deep panic that grips your heart when you check your bank balance. You stare at those low numbers and feel a cold wave of pure shame wash over you. You work incredibly hard every single day. You try to be a good and faithful servant with the very little you currently possess. Yet it seems like an invisible hole is draining all your precious resources away. You feel totally trapped. I saw every single time you skipped a meal to save some money. I saw you carefully calculating grocery prices in your head while walking down the crowded aisle. And I saw the quiet humiliation you swallowed when you had to say no to something you desperately needed for your own health. You are not invisible to me in these small moments of silent sacrifice. Heaven keeps a flawless record of your tears. You look up at the gray sky and wonder if I am angry with you. You search your past to find the hidden fault that caused this dry season. You think your lack of perfect faith is blocking the heavy rain of blessing from reaching your ground. Stop blaming your wounded heart for this wilderness. Your human fragility is not a spiritual crime. You are simply exhausted. There are days when you just want to drive away and never look back. You dream of escaping the massive pressure cooker of your current reality. You feel a deep urge to lay down on the cold floor and surrender to the heavy grief. It is completely okay to feel this profound level of weariness today. You do not have to perform your holy strength for me right now. Just breathe quietly. I will not tell you to just smile and be happy today. That shallow advice is an insult to the deep valley you are walking through. The sharp pain you feel in your chest is a real and valid wound, and you have been fighting a relentless spiritual battle in the dark without any backup from the people you love. Your heavy armor is dented, your weary hands are shaking. Let the intense pressure settle for just a moment. You have carried this heavy secret for too long without any help. I want you to feel my comforting presence wrapping around your tired shoulders right now. You are a beautiful broken vessel pouring out precious oil for the world. The dark season of silent weeping is finally being recognized by the highest court of heaven. I hold you close. I need you to understand something clearly right now. There is a massive difference between being abandoned and being hidden. You thought my recent silence meant I was angry with you. You assumed your prayers were hitting a cold brass ceiling and falling back to the floor empty. That is a lie planted by the enemy to break your spirit. I have never turned my back on your quiet suffering. Breathe out that heavy guilt you carry. Your completely unanswered prayers were never a harsh rejection from heaven, and your current exhaustion is definitely not a sign of weak faith. You have been walking through a dry valley of deep silence. You wondered why the heavens felt so incredibly dark and still, but you must realize my silence is never passive. My silence is fiercely active. While you were crying on your bed, I was incredibly busy. I was aggressively clearing out the hidden traps from your future path. The delay you hate so much was never a punishment. That frustrating delay was my fierce and deliberate protection over your life. I saw the dangerous snakes hiding in your upcoming season, and I simply refused to let you walk into a deadly ambush unprepared. You wanted a quick answer to end your pain. but a quick answer would have kept you connected to toxic people. I had to create a painful distance between you and the ones who secretly drain your energy. I used this quiet season to isolate you from fake friends. They would have completely ruined the massive harvest I am preparing for your hands. I had to clear the room completely. Stop acting like a slave in your own house. You keep begging me to forgive you for mistakes you never even committed. You search your soul for hidden faults to explain your current poverty. You think you must suffer exactly like this to earn my holy favor. I need you to drop that toxic religious mindset right now. You cannot ruin your grand destiny just by being a tired human being. Let me reveal the true architecture of this moment. The enemy wants you to stare at your empty hands and feel profound shame. He wants you to believe this silent wilderness is your final destination. But the silence is actually the loud sound of a construction zone. I am building a foundation strong enough to hold your generational wealth. A weak foundation would collapse under the blessing. This is exactly where many chosen ones turn back in fear. They feel the deep ache of waiting, and they call it a mistake. They run back to their old familiar chains because freedom feels too quiet and lonely. But you are absolutely not going to turn back today. You have survived the hardest part of the spiritual surgery. The heavy infected roots have been pulled out of your bloodline forever. Do not be afraid of the quiet space around you. The people who left your life recently were supposed to leave. Do not chase after them or beg them to stay. Their quick exit was an answered prayer you did not even know you prayed. I am removing the heavy dead weight from your boat before the winds of favor blow. You cannot sail into your royal destiny carrying bags of old garbage. Listen closely as I shift your perspective completely. The fierce attack on your finances and your peace was very strategic. It happened because the Dark Kingdom knows exactly who you are becoming. The darkness is terrified of the incredible light you carry inside your spirit. Your quiet waiting period is confusing the enemy. They expected you to curse heaven and give up entirely by now, but you are still standing here listening to my voice. Your tired legs are shaking, but your spirit refuses to surrender to the darkness. That beautiful resilience is exactly why you are the chosen cycle breaker. Breathe in a deep sense of total vindication right now. You are not crazy, and you are not forgotten. The closed doors were simply walls protecting your royal inheritance. Let me speak to another heavy weight you carry. Lately you have been waking up with a thick fog in your mind and an unexplained exhaustion sitting deep in your chest. You feel a strange and constant restlessness every single day. You walk through your quiet rooms and feel an invisible tension hanging heavy in the air. You think it is just normal stress from your daily life, but you are completely wrong. Do not scroll past this specific revelation today. Your physical body is reacting to a massive spiritual shift, and I am about to reveal exactly what is happening in the unseen realm right now. You have lived in survival mode for so incredibly long. You are always waiting for the next bad news to drop. Because of this endless trauma, your nervous system no longer knows how to recognize peace. You sit in a quiet room and your heart races. Nothing bad has happened to you today, but your mind is aggressively scanning the horizon for the next inevitable disaster. You feel completely unable to relax your heavy guard. You overthink every tiny decision you have to make. You are absolutely terrified that one wrong step will ruin the beautiful future destiny I plan for you. The mental fatigue is becoming incredibly severe for you. You forget simple words right in the middle of a sentence. You walk into a room and completely forget why you are even there. This heavy brain fog frustrates you deeply. You secretly wonder if you are losing your sharp mental edge. You compare your tired mind to how brilliant you used to be. You feel incredibly broken. Unclench your jaw. Take one slow breath. Let your shoulders fall. Do not rush past this gentle command. Your body desperately needs a moment of absolute stillness right now. You are holding so much tension in your neck and your back. You must let the heavy armor fall to the floor. You cannot carry the weight of the entire world on your tired shoulders anymore. You stare at the screen of your phone for hours. You are physically present, but your mind is drifting far away into anxious thoughts. People speak to you, and their words sound completely muffled. You smile and nod to pretend you are actively listening to them, but you are actually drowning in a deep sea of hidden anxiety. You are spiritually exhausted from fighting invisible battles. Your nightly sleep brings you absolutely no real relief. You close your eyes and your brain suddenly turns on at full speed. You toss and turn for hours in the dark, silent room. You finally fall asleep but wake up feeling like you ran a grueling marathon. Your physical vessel is completely drained of all its vital energy. You are running on empty fumes every single day. I see the quiet fear growing deep inside your spirit. You think you are completely failing this final spiritual test. You believe this constant brain fog means you lack proper faith. You ask me to fix your broken mind so you can work much harder, but you are asking the wrong question entirely. You are not losing your mind at all. You are simply carrying a weight you were never meant to hold. This sudden forgetfulness is a profound spiritual symptom. The dark enemy wants you to panic about your fading memory today. He whispers that your best and sharpest days are far behind you. He tries to convince you that this heavy confusion is a permanent state. Do not listen to his toxic lies. The profound heaviness in your head has a very specific and divine heavenly purpose. You are experiencing the intense pressure of the waiting room. The atmosphere all around you is incredibly thick with unmanifested miracles. Your human mind cannot easily process the high frequency of this massive incoming blessing. Your current physical exhaustion is actually a powerful prophetic sign. Stay closely with me to understand this strange physical symptom. Let me reveal the hidden architecture of your current struggle. The deep fog in your mind is not a medical mystery or a personal failure. It is the direct result of a highly coordinated spiritual attack against your peace. The dark enemy is actively trying to scramble your focus right now. He wants you to believe your brain is permanently broken so you will completely give up on your grand destiny. You have noticed a sudden wave of terrible luck recently. Your car breaks down, unexpected bills arrive, and household appliances suddenly stop working. You think the universe is simply punishing you for some forgotten mistake. That is absolutely not the truth of your situation. These frustrating events are not random accidents at all. They are desperate distractions thrown at you by a terrified spiritual adversary. He did not target your fragile finances because you are incredibly weak. He attacked your bank account because he is terrified of your future. He sees the massive generational wealth that heaven has deeded to your noble name, and he knows that if you ever claim it, his dark kingdom will suffer a massive blow. You are incredibly dangerous to him when your mind is finally clear. This intense daily pressure is the absolute proof of your high calling. Thieves do not break into empty houses. The enemy is only fighting you this hard because your spiritual vault is completely full. He wants to exhaust your physical body before the glorious morning arrives. He sends petty arguments and toxic people to drain your valuable energy. He is trying to make you forfeit the harvest. This is exactly why your mind feels so incredibly clouded today. The heavy spiritual warfare creates a real physiological weight on your tired shoulders. Your human brain is trying to process a violent, invisible battle. It causes your nervous system to stay locked in a state of high alert. Do not call yourself a failure when your mind inevitably needs a quiet moment to rest. You must stop apologizing for your deep human fatigue. Stop explaining your quiet moments to people who do not fight your difficult battles. The sudden restlessness you feel at night is not a lack of faith. It is your spirit detecting the frantic movements of the enemy outside your door. He is pacing back and forth because he knows his time is up. Your season of suffering is rapidly ending. Chosen one, you are currently standing in the eye of the storm. The loud winds swirling around you are designed to create pure panic, but I require your holy silence to clear this noisy room. You do not need to fight this dark adversary with your own tired hands. I have already dispatched heavily armed angels to secure your exact location. Your only job today is to stand still and simply watch me work. Hold that specific thought and do not let it slide past you. You thought your recent memory loss was a sign of your rapid decline. but heaven was actually wiping your mental slate completely clean to make room. You cannot pour new wine into an old, cracked vessel. The enemy tried to fill the empty space with deep anxiety and pure dread, but his dark weapons have completely failed to break your inner core. Every single thing that was violently stolen from you will be replaced. The money that mysteriously vanished will return in a massive, multiplied wave. The relationships that broke your heart were violently removed to protect your peace. You must realize that heaven is fiercely fighting for your ultimate good. The Dark Kingdom is absolutely panicking right now. They know your arrival season is unstoppable. Let me give you a profound spiritual weapon to use right now. When the sudden panic hits your chest, do not try to reason with it. Human logic will never defeat a spiritual attack designed by the dark enemy. Instead, you must firmly recognize the attack for exactly what it is. It is the pathetic thrashing of a defeated foe who has lost his grip. He can make loud noises, but he cannot touch your inheritance. You are standing at the exact edge of the threshold right now. The spiritual pressure around you has reached its absolute maximum limit because the enemy knows your time has finally come. You feel like you are being compressed from every single side. This extreme tension is not a sign of failure at all. It is the violent friction of your old season colliding directly with your brand new destiny. The atmosphere is incredibly heavy today. That heavy exhaustion I mentioned earlier is finally making perfect visual sense. It is not a sudden lack of true faith, it is extreme cognitive heaviness. Your human mind is trying to process the intense frequency of the incoming harvest while your physical body struggles to keep up with the pace. Your nervous system is simply reacting to the massive weight of the arrival season. That is exactly why you cannot focus today. The dark adversary knows you are standing right at the finish line. He sees your tired hand reaching out to turn the golden doorknob, and he is throwing every possible distraction at you in a blind panic because he desperately wants you to turn back in fear. He wants you to feel so incredibly tired that you simply sit down and quit forever. He hopes the massive pressure will finally break your quiet resolve. The darkest and coldest hour is always right before the sun completely rises. You feel like you cannot take one more step forward. Your spiritual muscles are aching from the relentless pushing and pulling of this violent warfare. But you must realize that a precious diamond is only created under extreme and violent compression deep within the dark earth. You are currently trapped inside that holy pressure cooker. Look around at the sudden chaos breaking out in your daily life. Everything seems to be falling apart at the exact same time, and it feels incredibly overwhelming to your fragile human senses when the familiar foundations begin to violently shake. But this loud chaos is actually the beautiful sound of divine restructuring. I am aggressively tearing down the old walls to build your massive new estate. The uncomfortable shaking is entirely necessary for your growth. Do not try to kick the heavy door down with your own physical strength. Do not use your exhausted human logic to force a quick and easy solution. You are not a petitioner begging for a tiny drop of water. You are the chosen heir stepping boldly into a flooded river of generational wealth. The heavy compression you feel right now is the mighty river pushing against the old dam. I need you to anchor your tired spirit firmly in the ground today. You must make a physical pact with heaven to survive this final dangerous threshold. Do not let the intense pressure steal your royal voice while you wait in the dark. Type 777 in the comments to seal this prophetic word right now. This small act is your bold signature on the invisible contract of ultimate faith. It locks your holy position securely in the spirit realm. The spiritual tension is rising higher and higher by the passing minute. You can literally feel the thick electricity in the quiet air around you. Your heart is beating fast with a strange mixture of deep fear and wild anticipation. Heaven has drawn a strict bloodline around your family and your future resources, and the enemy cannot cross that blazing line no matter how loudly he screams in defeat. You are mere seconds away from the heavy veil tearing completely in half. The agonizing delay that tortured your tired mind is breathing its very last breath. You have survived the dry desert and the brutal cold nights of deep and painful isolation. Now the intense heat of the grand transition is burning away the remaining toxic debris from your past. Hold your sacred ground and refuse to step backward into the familiar darkness. The massive vault of your generational inheritance is finally making a loud and clear unlocking sound. The heavy gears of heaven are turning aggressively in your ultimate favor, while the enemy watches in absolute horror. The tension is absolutely unbearable because the coming reward is incredibly unprecedented. The heavy compression is finally about to release its violent grip. You can feel the atmosphere shift rapidly in your quiet room right now. The painful waiting season is completely over. But there is another vital layer beneath this deep spiritual tension. Your financial breakthrough is fully authorized by the High Court of Heaven. Yet there is one final specific key you are missing to unlock the royal vault. I am about to hand you that precise missing key today. It is a secret mandate the dark enemy desperately hoped you would never learn. He wanted you to stay completely blind to your own massive power. He kept you distracted with petty arguments and daily financial panic. He wanted you to focus on the heavy storm outside your window, but the actual power to stop the fierce storm was always resting inside your own spirit. You are completely done living as a weary survivor. You have survived the brutal attacks on your mind and your fragile bank account. You have crawled through the dark valley of deep depression and heavy isolation. And you did it without losing your pure and gentle heart. Heaven watched you bleed for others while you were secretly starving. That profound level of sacrifice has triggered a massive heavenly response. The fierce angels of abundance are gathering around your physical location. They are holding the massive blueprints of your new generational wealth. You are about to step into a reality that your human mind cannot fully comprehend yet. The heavy chains of poverty that bound your grandparents are snapping violently in half. You are the chosen one who finally broke the terrible curse. You are the ultimate cycle breaker. Do not let your physical exhaustion convince you to sit down now. Stand up extremely tall in the spirit realm today. Square your tired shoulders and lift your heavy head. You are about to receive the ultimate revelation of your true royal identity. The dark adversary is screaming in absolute terror because his ancient magic is completely broken against your holy light. He cannot hide the beautiful truth from your open eyes anymore. I need you to prepare your heart for a massive paradigm shift. The transactional religion that taught you to beg for crumbs is officially dead. You were never meant to grovel on the floor like a desperate peasant in my house. You have been exhausting yourself standing at the wrong counter for years. You were trying to passionately earn what is already legally deeded to your noble name. Stop acting like a forgotten slave when you own the entire estate. This is the exact moment you must wake up to your supreme authority. The heavy fog is rapidly lifting from your tired mind right now. You can suddenly see the vast spiritual landscape with absolute crystalline clarity. The pain you suffered was actually the intense training ground for a king. You were being forged in the hot fire for this exact hour. I am giving you the supreme authority to command your own atmosphere. When you speak a clear word into the dark void, the universe must immediately obey. Your voice carries the heavy weight of 1,000 heavenly armies today. Do not whisper your prayers with a timid and doubtful heart anymore. You must declare your total victory with the fierce roar of a conquering lion. The entire unseen realm is violently shaking at your feet. Hold your breath and wait for the final massive curtain to drop. The key I promise to give you is incredibly simple but violently powerful. It will completely shatter the old survival pattern that kept you totally trapped in debt. You thought you needed to fight harder to win the bloody war. But the real secret to unlocking the royal vault is completely contrary to human logic. I am drawing a thick line in the sand around your future right now. Nothing from your painful past is allowed to cross this blazing border. Your days of quiet weeping and anxious money counting are completely over. The glorious sun is finally breaking through the heavy black clouds. Prepare your mind to receive the final magnificent truth. The supreme revelation of your ultimate power is arriving now. Here is the sacred key I promise to place in your hands today. The final key is to completely abandon your desperate begging. You must stop pleading with heaven to simply survive the stressful week. The true key to the royal vault is absolute surrender and holy silence. You do not need to fight the heavy storm with your tired hands anymore. You must stand completely still and watch the waters part for you. A petitioner stands at a cold counter and desperately bargains for scraps. An heir walks confidently through the front door of the grand estate and simply receives. You have lived as a tired petitioner for way too long. You promised to work harder and sacrifice your own health just so I might notice your struggle. That transactional religion ends in this exact room right now. You are the rightful heir. Stop staring at the dirty floor of the lonely waiting room. Lift your chin and look directly at the massive wealth placed before you. You are the chosen elite who survived the brutal fire without losing your pure heart. I do not want your perfect performance today. I simply want your proximity and your complete trust. The inheritance was deeded to your specific bloodline before you were even born. The dark enemy wants you to shrink back into the shadows of quiet shame. He wants you to apologize for taking up space in the grand palace. Do not give him that twisted satisfaction today. Step fully into your massive authority and let your blazing light blind his dark kingdom. He is absolutely terrified because you finally realize you never needed his permission to prosper. You are completely free. Your old survival pattern is officially breaking off your weary mind right now. You are no longer the exhausted caregiver scraping the bottom of the empty barrel. You are the magnificent cycle breaker of your entire family tree. The heavy curse of generational poverty dies today because you finally chose to stand tall. The wealthy season of your life is unlocking violently in your ultimate favor. I am commanding the hidden wealth to locate your specific address immediately. The money you lost is returning multiplied because the cowardly thief was completely exposed. Do not accept any more crumbs from people who secretly want to see you starve. You must completely banish the toxic spirit of poverty from your beautiful mind. The royal feast is fully prepared for your arrival. Take your rightful seat. Your voice is no longer an instrument of quiet weeping and endless complaining. Your tongue is now a sharp sword that decrees undeniable heavenly truth. When you speak abundance into the quiet room, the invisible angels immediately rush to manifest your spoken command. You carry the supreme authority of the highest spiritual court. No weapon formed in the dark corners of the earth can ever penetrate your golden armor. Look at your tired hands right now and see them very differently. They are not the empty hands of a forgotten victim crying out for help. They are the strong hands of a conqueror, ready to manage massive generational wealth. The intense suffering you endured was the rigorous training required for a mighty king. You are fully equipped to handle the heavy blessing without letting it destroy your pure soul. Let the blazing fire of ultimate pride fill your tired chest right now. You survived the brutal attacks that would have completely destroyed a weaker spirit. You kept walking through the deep mud when everyone else abandoned you in the dark valley. I am incredibly proud of your fierce resilience today. The majestic crown of victory is being placed securely on your head. Do not ever take it off again. The arrival season is here, and the grand doors are thrown completely open. Walk through the giant gates without a single ounce of lingering guilt or fear. The vast estate is yours to explore and enjoy in total peace. The era of struggling to survive the winter is permanently over for your bloodline. Step into the warm light of the harvest and boldly claim every single thing I promised you from the start. Now, I need you to pause exactly where you are. Stop pacing around the room and find a quiet place to sit down. Let the intense heat of that royal revelation settle deep into your bones right now. You have carried some incredibly heavy things in this message today, and your physical body desperately needs a moment to fully process this massive spiritual shift. Unclench your tight jaw completely. Let your shoulders fall heavily away from your tired ears. Take one very long and slow breath in through your nose right now, and then exhale all the lingering anxiety completely out through your mouth. Feel the heavy armor finally falling off your weary back. You do not need to fight anymore today. Your nervous system has been running on high alert for so many months, because you have been constantly bracing for an invisible impact that is never going to come. I command that violent internal storm to be completely still right now. Let the gentle waves of my perfect peace wash over your tired mind. You are completely safe inside this holy room. Let go of the desperate need to figure everything out by tomorrow morning. You do not have to solve the complex equations of your future anymore, because the heavy burden of providing for everyone is no longer resting solely on your fragile shoulders. I am taking the heavy yoke from your neck right now. Step quietly into your beautiful new rest. Feel the profound lightness in your chest as the dark fog permanently lifts. The bitter survival mode that defined your adult life is finally washing away, and you can comfortably stop holding your breath in secret fear. The unseen battle is already completely won in the spiritual realm, and the defeated enemy has completely fled from your sacred property. A true heir does not pace the quiet hallways worrying about the daily bills, but a royal child sleeps soundly because the grand estate is fully secure. I want you to sleep exactly like that tonight. When you close your tired eyes later, do not let the old familiar panic creep back in. Your massive inheritance is safely guarded by heavenly armies. The dry dirt of the brutal wilderness is being washed off your tired feet. You walked through the dark valley of the heavy shadow for a long time, but you finally made it safely back to your warm home today. I am wrapping a warm and heavy blanket of divine comfort around your shaking shoulders. You are deeply loved and you are incredibly cherished. Every single broken connection in your tired mind is being gently repaired right now. The deep cognitive fog is quickly dissolving into pure and brilliant light, while your scattered thoughts are settling down like soft snow on a quiet winter morning. You will wake up tomorrow with a brand new sense of supreme mental clarity. The deep confusion is gone. You no longer need to explain your quiet boundaries to people who drain your precious energy, because your holy silence is your ultimate shield of absolute protection. Let them misunderstand you while you peacefully build your beautiful new life. You do not owe anyone an exhausting explanation for the massive blessings coming your way. Just smile and stay totally quiet. Keep breathing very slowly and rhythmically with me. Feel the solid ground supporting your feet right now. You are firmly planted in the rich soil of the grand arrival season, and no sudden wind of adversity can ever uproot your established family tree again. Allow yourself to feel completely at home in this magnificent new reality. The profound healing power of this moment is flowing through your physical veins. You can literally feel the toxic stress leaving your tired muscles today, as the tight, painful knots in your stomach are slowly unraveling one by one. You are entering a sacred season where things will simply flow to you without the agonizing struggle. Rest your weary head against my chest today. You have fought a magnificent fight in the unseen realm. You kept your beautiful faith alive when every single circumstance told you to suddenly quit, and now you finally get to reap the glorious harvest of your quiet tears. Stay in this peaceful frequency for as long as you need. The divine transition is completely finished and your new life officially begins now. You came into this moment feeling like a tired beggar because you were terrified that my long silence meant a harsh punishment, but now the heavy fog has completely lifted from your eyes. You know the beautiful truth today. You are the rightful heir, and the royal vault is wide open. The deep anxiety that gripped your chest earlier has been completely washed away by my perfect peace. If this sanctuary has gently bound your deep wounds today, you must take a holy moment to honor the sacred altar. You are stepping into a season of unprecedented generational wealth, but massive wealth always requires a flowing current to remain pure and clean. You cannot simply hoard the heavenly blessing in secret. You must activate the divine law of reciprocity in your own life today. I invite you to plant a financial seed through the super thanks button below right now. This is not a human transaction at all. It is your physical decree that you completely trust the incoming harvest. When you give from a place of profound peace, you break the back of the poverty spirit forever and set your bloodline free. Plant your seed today and watch how quickly heaven multiplies your faithful action. The heavy season of painful isolation is completely breaking off you right now. But heaven always works through the power of human connection. There is someone in your phone contacts who is staring blindly at their screen today because they are absolutely terrified of tomorrow and its heavy bills just like you were. You must use your hands to be their unexpected spiritual rescue today. Pass this specific message on to them right now. Share it directly and save a tired soul tonight. When you share my prophetic word with a broken friend, you set the law of heavenly multiplication into motion. You become a beautiful beacon of warm light in their dark valley. Share this video to save their fragile peace today, and carefully watch your own massive harvest multiply without any limit. The dark enemy will try to steal this massive revelation from your mind tomorrow. He wants you to wake up and forget your royal identity. You must actively protect your sacred atmosphere from his daily digital noise. Subscribe to this sanctuary so tomorrow brings another prophetic word directly to your feed before the old habit of the enemy returns to your quiet house. You are officially stepping out of the dry wilderness and into the fertile fields. I want you to sign your new name on the invisible contract of ultimate faith. Leave the word Amen below as the very first stroke of an acknowledgement signed by an heir. This simple public confession seals the heavy doors against the dark thief forever, and your ultimate victory is permanently recorded in the courts today. Breathe in the sweet air of your brand new reality one more time. The violent storm is completely over and the beautiful morning has finally broken. You do not have to fight the heavy crashing waves anymore. You simply need to walk onto the dry land and boldly claim your grand estate because the generational curse is fully broken. The rich soil is ready for your gentle hands. Walk forward with your head held extremely high today. You are a magnificent warrior who survived the darkest night with a pure heart. Heaven is standing up to applaud your quiet endurance. Let my perfect peace guard your mind and your spirit as you peacefully sleep tonight. The beautiful arrival season is officially yours to keep forever, and you are finally stepping into your glorious new home. Do not let anyone convince you to lower your royal standards again. You have paid a very high price for this profound spiritual wisdom. The tears you cried in secret have watered the massive seeds of your future empire, and now the mighty trees of abundance are fully grown and bearing heavy fruit. Reach out your clean hands and gather the beautiful harvest without any lingering shame. I am always with you in the quiet moments of your day. Whenever the shadows try to creep back into your room, simply remember the holy covenant we made here today. You are my beloved, and you are fiercely protected. Close your tired eyes tonight, knowing the grand battle is already won. The golden dawn is waiting for you tomorrow while you step quietly into your eternal rest.